For the first time in a long while, the Monaco Grand Prix is being requested more often. Despite this, it still does not have a contract beyond 2022, and its Formula One future has never seemed more uncertain. The Monte Carlo sellout represents rather modest figures compared to Formula One's biggest stadiums. About 68,000 tickets were sold for the weekend. This number, which is nearly as twice as Monaco's actual population, is projected to be reached by Sunday. In the wake of the Covid-imposed absence in 2020 and a reduced number in 2021, Monaco feels like a proper Grand Prix once more. There are lots of VIPs here and the streets are packed. Despite this, there are still a number of people who see this race as Formula One's crowning achievement. This is not reflected by the lack of a contract for 2023 or beyond, nor the lack of impetuous Formula One seems to have resolved the issue. It's not surprising that home hero Charles Leclerc is among the race's strongest supporters. When asked about speculation Formula One might lose the Monaco Grand Prix, Leclerc replied, "I think it would be a bad move for both sides. As far as I know, Monaco has never been without Formula One, except for Covid reasons in 2020. And Formula One without Monaco is not Formula One to me. Silverstone and Monza, as well as Monaco, are some of Formula One's historic tracks. We expect Monaco to remain in the calendar until 2023 at least. Obviously, a one-year extension wouldn't surprise anyone, but there are a couple of caveats. This will be more of a stay of execution for Monaco, so the Formula One team can sort out its issues with the race, and it won't be a deal that Formula One is hurried into. Formula One CEO Stefano Domenicali's attempt to play chicken with Monaco is a serious move, given the race's history as an ever-present on the calendar and a unique spectacle regardless of Formula One's relentless expansion. The Automobile Club de Monaco would take a huge risk if it thought this was a negotiating tactic. Domenicali seems to be serious about the matter. Several problems stem from the ACM's apparent unwillingness to relinquish the unorthodox position that Monaco has held for so long. Problems which extend beyond Monaco's choice to pay a cut-price racing fee. One of Monaco's most appealing features is how traditional it is, barely changing even from its earliest configuration. Nevertheless, that configuration leads to bad racing and is especially incompatible with Formula One's fattening cars. It is a question that Lewis Hamilton is asked every year, and every year he calls for change. In this year's case, Hamilton calls for a mandatory two-stop strategies. However, he had previously advocated for rearranging the course. Now, before we proceed any further, I would appreciate if you could hit that subscribe button and like buttons before we move on. I'm starving. I mean, really. Anyway, never mind. Let's get back to the video. The idea of building a track on reclaimed land outside of Poitiers is probably doomed to failure, since that massive area will be developed into luxurious apartments, villas, and the associated architecture. As you're probably aware, the area has changed since 2011. The Formula One team has also touted the possibility of changing the chicane at the tunnel's exit, a suggestion that the ACM will not entertain. Usually, the ACM lends a sympathetic ear and promises to look into track changes if Sunday's race lacks much excitement. Unfortunately, Formula One appears to consider this more than lip service than anything else. Traditionally, Monaco's end of May race is a frustrating fixed point in Formula One's calendar, which needs greater flexibility as it grows. Especially since the championship needs to change to a system of grouping races by regions, in which Monaco at the end of May could prove challenging if Formula One wanted to pair, say, Miami and Canada. The fact that Monaco controls its television direction is another long-held guarantee the country will not give up. Formula One hopes to remedy this situation as soon as possible. Are you remembering Sebastian Vettel and Gasly going up the hill together last year? Surely you don't. You remember being shown a replay of Lance Stroll instead. In addition to commercial factors, there are other considerations such as advertising control. There's an obvious clash on the start-finish straight, with the Rolex-sponsored bridge immediately followed by a tag bridge advertising the official watch of the Monaco Grand Prix. Among Formula One's global partners is Rolex. How will that affect its commercial prospects? It's important to keep in mind that Monaco's power seems to be waning. Monaco is a popular misconception because this is where a lot of business is conducted. Formula One does not agree with this notion. The race is still a great event for schmoozing sponsors, but there are many others as well. The Formula One teams do a great job of capitalising on the commercial opportunities around Monaco and its heritage, but privately, they have indicated that Monaco is not irreplaceable. The corporate world is very interested in the new races like Miami. At least in qualifying, there will be some who view these external factors as insignificant in comparison to the Monaco Grand Prix's sheer spectacle. It is a challenge unlike any other for the drivers and a track that is so special to them, despite knowing that it will probably be boring and miserable. Monaco is one of the very best tracks out there, Leclerc says. In terms of qualifying, there are few places I enjoy more than this one, where one's performance can make a huge difference. I actually enjoy watching the races. In terms of qualifying, this is probably the most exciting of the season because you still have the sensation of speed. I agree, we could perhaps change some things here and there to help us overtake in races. However, it is one of the toughest challenges for the drivers, and a track like this should remain on the calendar, and it still might. The city's main draw, that it is a relic of the past, but it is getting dangerously close to a situation in which the negatives of that situation outweigh the positives. It's obvious that the Monaco Grand Prix, as we all know it, is not going to last much longer. Despite several surrounding factors, a modified Monaco has a better chance of surviving, not just because of its layout, but because of its surrounding factors. And in this way, this video comes to an end. We hope you savoured every second of this video. Please kindly support our small YouTube channel by liking and subscribing to our channel. Stay updated for the latest Formula One news and buzz.